brought to you by Two Brothers, One Vision.
You know what this is? This is, we got a new baby kitten hair. That's what that is. Oh, I'll be right back. Hello, friends and family. Wowie here at Wowwy'z Workshop, and out here in the creation station. And let me tell you guys, would you look at that? I am so stoked to show everybody our new sign made by our cousin Sheri. Got this. It's just I typed in gallery lighting and Amazon. God bless your soul, Amazon. These lights popped up. They can change color, they can tilt and stuff. They go on with a little magnetic connection, and you charge them up just with a USB, with those, you know, like a Bluetooth or whatever does. You just charge them up, and they got a remote. Look at that. I like the half blue. But Sheri, thank you so much. She is amazing, and she did 2 signs for us, and I'm just over the moon with it. I love them. Okay, now we're going to talk about this project. It's time to continue on the Watcher. So, something I didn't mention last time we were talking about the Watcher project is Wowwy'z Watchers. I didn't mention that mine are going to have antlers. Anybody who knows us in our art has been over the past 6 and 7 years, how many times we've shared our antler crown work and photo shoots, and there was a music video with Christia and all sorts of stuff we did with our antler crowns. They're crazy magical things that take a year. Each one is at least a year's worth of work on and off throughout the year working on these things, because we weave it with copper wire, you know, 24 gauge down to 24 gauge copper wire, 28 in some spots. Anyways, so antler crowns are a big part of Two Brothers, One Vision. We use pieces from nature, bone. What I'm trying to say here, I'm sorry, I'm going to edit this stuff out because I am just God smacked by this. Just 1 second. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we've had some friction before because we use remnants of nature in our art because it's animal products. Now let me tell you this. The fact that we will pick up sheds and loose things from animals that have passed and then work it into our art, we're honoring nature that way, okay? We're not doing anything wrong, like against cruelty to animals. It's the exact opposite. We're using something so beautiful as the horns and the antlers and things like this. Also, we have used stuff that are from native folks out here that have hunted, and we have used some of the antlers because, like, that's how they got their food. What I'm saying is that the fact that we use antlers and that we use bone, it's no difference than wood and, well, stone's a little bit different, but to me, driftwood on the beach is like finding an antler. It's from nature. That tree was alive once, okay? So why is wood any different? Anyways, and I'm talking about hair too, different things, you know, there's all these different morality clashes, and I want the world to know that what we use, we're not going out sport hunting something to take it down so we can have those antlers and make a crown. No, for all of our antlers, those were discarded sets. That's what they're called, is a set. And so those were discarded sets that we have found, and they were still attached to the skull plate, and so that's how we made the antler crowns, and it started from there, and then the copper wire to make the cage and the fence and the frame, and then all of the real hard work and the long stuff went down. Okay, we're talking about watchers here. What the frick am I doing? Okay, back to the watchers. These two aren't matching. They're from totally different animals. They were just found. They're just been kicking around. I got a bunch too from my buddy Jordy, who got a whole bunch in an estate sale. And see, that's how we get these things. We're finders and upcyclers, okay? I'm going to switch it around and tell you what I'm going to do with these when it comes to this watcher. Okay then, here we are. Now, what I've been thinking about, because I didn't have a matching set, and these they didn't go together, I thought about it, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to make one of these out of this. So what I gotta do is cut this one off, and this, don't you worry, this is gonna get used in another project. So cut this down and then narrow this round this part so that it can match. I don't know if this is gonna work. And I don't know how exactly I'm gonna cut this, like what's the best. Like I have hacksaws for metal, which I have used on bone before, but this will get cut here and then shaped down. I'm also thinking, I'm looking at my crazy array of bits here. The spread, the tool spread, the burrs, the wonderful burrs. But this here is a drywall cutting burr. That thing there is like 17 bucks from RotoZip. I know you can't see it very well, but I'll show a little cling ding. I'll show a little picture there of it. That's the company. Wall tile. RotoZip. And down here, make sure it says 3mm. As you can see, one time I bought one that was too big. But this is how we learn, guys. RotoZip. Yeah. RotoZip, and they can be really, really good at certain things. And I was thinking, that's probably one of these occasions that this RotoZip is going to be handy for this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try. And if this don't want to cut that, then I'm going to use a hacksaw off camera here. And this is where we're going to start, and we'll just see what happens. Time to do it. Ta-da, folks. That's what I've been going for. But now these two pieces look like they could be from a matching set. And that's what the whole point of all this rambling and bambling, and you should see what it smells like in here. My goodness. I already heard the wife yelling, because you can kind of smell, you know, if I'm doing something crazy in here. One time I burnt up a Dremel sanding too much, which I do very often because I love a sanding. And yeah, she can smell it because we're just outside in our little shed. That's the creation station. So here are our bits. Got a couple pieces, cool pieces that I can use, and if not in a carving, in electroforming. Yes, we electroform copper. Scrap copper into jewelry and other things. The tips of magic wands. There's all sorts of things that we can utilize with the copper electroforming. And guess what, kids? Yes, I will be doing videos regarding that. It takes a little bit of money and research and time to get set up, but once you get going, the materials last a long time, other than the conductive paint, which you always have to continuously buy to make your products. But the bath that you do it in, that lasts a long time. If you're good to it, it'll be good to you. And that RotoZip, that worked a treat, man. Yo, if you ever need to carve antler, get yourself a roto tip for cutting through it and removing bulk. Okay, so now I have to sit back and have a quick break and get the watcher up here and start really contemplating if this is the route I'm going to go, because there are other ways of going about this. I have these things here that I got but then if I go this way, I may have to put in like ready rod, and it's not going to be as strong. I don't know. I really liked this idea. So I think I'm gonna try and stick to the vision. See those little guys? Okay, guys. I'll be right back. Since I have you all here, I'm gonna go in. You see back in there how you can kind of see you'll be able to see where the edge starts when I do the copper leaf. I don't want the edge visible. So I'm gonna go back in there with a carbide bit, cut in and down a little bit. In and down. So then this edge in there, you won't be able to see where the edge is, it'll just be black because you create a shadow. Does that make any sense? It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing what I'm doing altogether, so it's a hard thing to explain, but I'm gonna go in there. So yeah, I kind of thought about it and I was like, hey, that ruler, it's got a hole. Easy way to make sure that you're the same distance on either side, and then just fill in your hole up there, and that'll be where you drill, right? So now I just got to make sure I'm on the same spot on both sides. So I got the height figured out. Bing. Just a little background tip, I got one of these laser level. Well, it has the level bubbles on top, but it's got the laser, right? So lots of times I use this in the background when I'm like figuring out things and lining things up. I don't know if it's gonna be, well, yeah, I can track it right around. Oh yeah, this is gonna be handy. So yeah, laser level being used in other ways, right? Just a little tip. A little bit of Wowwy wisdom. So I have been working on going back and forth, and I want the profile so that that head comes out a bit, but yet I want this to gradually come in further so it'll catch the light coming up from the little bulb, because if it doesn't have the profile right, the light isn't going to travel up it the best of its ability. So yeah, I've been doing this stuff kind of in the background here, but it's coming. He's coming. And I have been marking out the spots for the antlers. The vision is coming together. I must stay true to the vision. Welcome back, my friends and fam. Let me show you where we're at with Wowwy'z Watchers on Wowwy'z Watchers. Ba-doom. Okay, guys, how are we doing? I am your host, Wowie, and sorry about that. That was just a little tiny peek inside of a very strange brain, and I have no shame. I will tell you what's going on in my head. Okay, guys, so this is where we're at. And in case anybody was wondering, what I've been doing in this stuff is just I want the fabric to show that there's a hole there. And just a little quick vid here on what I did. I used a spade bit, 1/2 inch, to make the main hole. I know it was just slightly smaller, but I wanted it to be a nice and tight fit. So after drilling the hole, I shaped it with the long taper. This is the taper fine from Cutsaw. May I also mention, always using your safety equipment, okay? Also, I used my Milwaukee orbital sander. This is a wicked tool. There it is. To also shape and sand this so that it became the perfect nice fit. And then plus I've also left room in there for the glue. And when it comes time to glue it, bada boom, I'm going to be using E6000 industrial adhesive. I use this with the jewelry too. This stuff is wicked. Strong, waterproof. Yeah. If I can't use something like, well, just for this one, I'm going to go with the E6000. I'm not going to start rambling about other things, and that's how I got to this point. Going to do some more work here on the cloak, and then it's finishing time. And a little bit of a shadow, just a little added touch. You know, some folks may think I'm crazy to do that on such a smooth, but it's what I got in my head, and I just want to be able to have a little bit of that on each side. So I'm going to go deeper so it causes more of an undercut. So a little tiny bit of shadow, but not too much. And then I'll balance it on each side so that each side is... So yeah, that's where we're at. It's going to be the end of part 2. Thank you for being this far. I really, truly appreciate it. There is no YouTube without you, and I'm always going to say it in each and every video because it's the truth. If you weren't here, and he wasn't there, and she wasn't there, and we weren't here, there would be no YouTube, you know? It comes down to us, and I truly appreciate you. So the next video is going to be the finishing. I'm going to share the gold leafing. I'm going to share what I do, what I choose for a stain on the cloak. And yeah, and then that'll be the finale. That'll be it. Part 3 will be it. So thank you, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it so far. And wish me luck, because then the final stages are the parts that can really go sideways. Also, I may go in deeper in here just to pronounce the neck and just go deeper. Just that extra pop of a little touch, you know? Just little touches. And even if I'm the only one that ever notices them, it's beneficial to my own well-being. Yes. All right, guys. See you very soon. Much love. Welcome back, my friends and fam. Let me